It's time for Marvel to confess. These are their confessions. Listen, um, I have been, I would say, I think I've been fair. I think I've been fair when it comes to my assessment of Marvel and what they do. Um, when there are things I don't agree with, I'll let y'all know. When there are things I love, I'll let y'all know. I don't think that it's ever been a big secret that Marvel's been struggling. We've talked about that many times. I think overall, Phase 4 was a miss overall. Um, Now, at the same time, I would also say that Phase 5 is a transitional period because this is where they're finally going to start. We're going to see the little baby steps in between. You know, any transition period is rough, but it's not going to be until maybe after 2025, 2026 that we will potentially see the fruits of the decision making on the screen. So, with that said, like Marvel has had some issues, but the real question is, do they know that? Because we've seen other studios, and I'm not going to name no names. We've seen other studios make bad movies, re-release those bad movies in theaters, keep franchise characters out of those movies, and continue making those same movies without the franchise character that everyone has literally asked them for. And that studio would not say a word. They just keep thinking like, oh, y'all want more, right? That's what y'all want, right? Y'all actually want more of these things that y'all didn't ask for, right? I know we flopped a couple times, but we'll just keep giving you some more. We like taking financial hits. But Marvel's cut from a slightly different cloth. So during this okay, nope, I will talk about it. So during a recent interview, Marvel execs were asked about the state of Marvel and what's going on, and they had some things to say. So this is going to be from Luis Desposito and Kevin Feige. So these are like the two head guys. I think Luis is the VP at Marvel, and Kevin Feige is obviously the head. But here in this interview, Luis said, it's been a rough time. It's been a rough time. However, he sees Wade Wilson, Deadpool's mutant team up threequel, as a sign of things getting back on track. He said, if we just stay on top, that would have been the worst thing that could have happened to us. We took a little hit. We're coming back strong. Maybe when you do too much, you dilute yourself a bit. We're not going to do that anymore. We learned our lesson. Maybe 2 to 3 films a year and 1 or 2 shows, as opposed to doing 4 films and 4 shows. So he is doubling down on what we recently talked about from Bob Iger. Bob Iger said, yo, we ain't doing all them movies and shows like that. We're not doing all that. It's too much. And I think that I think some people miss why slowing down for Marvel is a good thing. And I don't, because I've seen people still say, oh, Marvel still sucks. Marvel's still not going to get. Listen, you have to understand how this movie entertainment world works. Personally, I still think that 3 movies and 2 TV shows, I think, is still too much for Marvel. Okay, so I'm putting that on record. I still think it's too much. But 3 movies max will be, that's fine. The reason why I say that is because when something comes out, you need time to market it, and you need time to test it, and you need time when it actually comes out for people to absorb it. So when a movie comes out, Marvel has to sit here and say, okay, we need to see how people feel. How do the critics feel? Okay, the critics like it. Great. How do the people feel? Uh-oh, the people don't like it. You need a certain amount of time before you jump onto the next movie or you jump onto the next TV series to reflect on what worked and what didn't work. So that way you can make certain adjustments in the future. You cannot have time to make adjustments or to listen to the fans or to look at the reviews if you're constantly jumping from project to project to project to project. That's how they got worn thin during the pandemic, and we got a string of things. Like, you think it's a coincidence that Ant-Man 3 and Thor 4 had all that stupid humor in it? I am of the opinion that if Thor 4 had came out and we had more time in between, they was like, hey, people ain't feeling all them screaming goats and all that silliness. Hey, let's go do these reshoots on Ant-Man 4. Hey, take all that silly stuff out of there. We don't. People were not feeling it before. They would have time to adjust. So the idea of slowing down for Marvel is a great thing, in my opinion, because this does not mean that everything they put out is going to be great. That's not what that means. It means that they have time to adjust if something goes bad, or they have time to double down on something if they find out something is really good. So I like the fact that they're learning from this as well. The fact that he said we learned our lesson. I just told y'all. Have y'all heard any other studio say this? Do you know how much it would warm my heart if I heard Sony say we learned our lesson? We're canceling Craven. We're canceling Venom 3. We're actually going to do something that you guys asked for and not just what our executives think y'all want. That would warm my heart, because I know studios have, listen, you're in the business to try things. You are going to put things out there. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. But when things don't work constantly, I need you to stop. Just stop, reflect, change course, do something different. That's one of the reasons why I appreciate Marvel the way that I do, because again, they're not perfect, but I'm always willing to give a studio a shot and the benefit of the doubt when they tell me we messed up. We didn't do, we jacked that up. All right, but we gonna try something different. That's all you can do. I like that. I respect that. And I like the fact that the people at the very top also get it. Not the director, not an actor. No, the people that are in charge of making the decisions, they realize they messed up. That is great stuff. I cannot express to y'all how valuable that is to your viewing experience, to understand that the people that are in charge of giving y'all entertainment know when they do bad and they can learn when they can do better. Oh, I love it. I love it. What else he say? He says, hold on, who is this? Okay, this is Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige says it's nice to be able to rally behind one feature project this year. He's talking about Deadpool now. I'm much more comfortable being the underdog. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. So it does seem like the last year, which has not been ideal, has set us up well for that. I like that too. Because if you think about it, go back to phase 4. Nobody had expectations for the MCU. Nobody. We was like, Iron Man, what's that? Ooh, that's actually pretty dope. Great. Avengers. All right, let's see what you got. Dang! $1 billion later. Thanks. This is, Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier. When there are no expectations, it is so much easier for us to be entertained. However, you also gave us Infinity War and Endgame and Black Panther. Listen, 2018 and Thor Ragnarok. From 2017 to 2019. Okay, let's go back. Y'all need some reminders. You gave us Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. Great. Black Panther. Fantastic. Infinity War. Oh my gosh. Ant-Man 2. Okay. Not you, Captain Marvel. Endgame. Let's go. And then there's another Spider-Man movie. That was a great time to be alive as a comic movie fan. We had gotten some great stuff from just the MCU. Shout out to Across Into the Spider-Verse. But we got some great stuff during that time frame. But that also, the reason why it was great was because it gave us stuff that we weren't expecting. Nobody was expecting any of those films to do what they did at that time. And it was fantastic. So I understand what he means by he didn't that he likes to be the underdog. That makes sense. I get it, because it's easier to appease when people are not expecting you to do great. Go out there and ball out. And Kevin Feige also says you'd have to live under a rock not to know that the last few Marvel movies have failed to ignite the world in the way that so many did. We do come along at an interesting time, and we are decidingly something different. Whether it is of messianic proportions, time will tell. You'd have to be living under a rock. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love that he understands that they failed. I absolutely love that he knows that they have come up short. This is what I want to hear from the executive of any company. Any company. When you've been messing up, when you've been failing, that's what I want to hear. That is what I want to hear. So, of course, now this means we have to wait and see what they come up with next, and then we judge it. Maybe Avengers 5 is going to be trash. Maybe. But maybe, Secret Wars would be great. I don't know. I personally think that Deadpool 3 should be very good. I don't think it's going to be amazing, but I do think it's going to be good. But we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.